Have you ever wondered why some people are more successful than others? Could it be that they're making better decisions? Now let's consider this. What if there was a way to make better decisions consistently? A way to view the world that significantly increases your chances for success? Well, this is where mental models come in. Mental models, in essence, are the frameworks we use to understand the world around us. They help us make sense of complex information and guide our decisions. But not all mental models are created equal. Some are more effective than others, and knowing which ones to use can be the difference between success and failure. Enter Charlie Munger, Vice Chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, and longtime business partner of Warren Buffett. Munger is widely recognized for his deep wisdom and impressive success, much of which he attributes to the use of mental models. In fact, Munger has a unique set of mental models that he believes are crucial for making wise decisions and achieving success. Munger's mental models aren't just about business or investing, they're about life. They're about understanding the world in a way that helps you navigate it more effectively. They're about thinking clearly, avoiding mistakes, and making decisions that lead to better outcomes. And the beautiful thing is, they're not just for the elite. They're accessible to anyone willing to learn and apply them. So what are these mental models? How can you use them in your own life? And how can they help you become more successful? That's precisely what we're going to explore in this video. We're going to take a deep dive into Charlie Munger's mental models, breaking them down one by one and showing you how you can apply them to your own life. So, are you ready to step into the mind of one of the world's most successful people? Are you ready to learn the mental models that have played a key role in Charlie Munger's extraordinary success? If so, you're in the right place. Stick around as we delve into Charlie Munger's blueprint for success. First off, we have the circle of competence. This mental model is all about understanding your own skill set, your knowledge base, and your areas of expertise. Imagine a circle. Inside this circle are all the subjects you are competent in, the areas where you hold a deep understanding and can make informed decisions. Now, why is this circle so important? By staying within your circle of competence, you're able to focus on what you truly understand, reducing the risk of errors in judgment. You're essentially playing to your strengths. Think of it as being the star player in your own game, where you set the rules. This doesn't mean you should never venture outside of your circle. On the contrary, it's important to continuously expand your circle of competence by learning and gaining experience in new areas. However, when it comes to making crucial decisions or taking significant actions, it's wise to stay within your circle. Charlie Munger himself, along with Warren Buffett, has often emphasized the importance of the circle of competence. They attribute much of their investment success to sticking within their areas of expertise. When they don't understand a business or an industry, they simply pass on the opportunity no matter how attractive it may seem. The challenge, however, lies in accurately defining your circle. It's all too easy to overestimate our competence, to think we know more than we do. This is where humility comes in. It's crucial to honestly assess your knowledge and skills and to acknowledge the limits of your understanding. So the key takeaway is, know your strengths and stick to them. But remember, it's equally important to acknowledge what you don't know. By doing so, you set yourself up for informed decisions, reduced errors, and ultimately, success. The circle of competence is not just a tool for investment decisions, it's a blueprint for a successful life. Next up, we have the Lollapalooza effect. This fascinating concept, coined by Charlie Munger, describes the phenomenon when multiple forces act together in the same direction. Picture it like this. You have a row of dominoes. Each domino is a force. When you tip one, it sets off a chain reaction that's far more significant than the push of a single domino. That's the Lollapalooza effect in action. Understanding this model can be incredibly beneficial in predicting outcomes and making better decisions. It's all about recognizing the convergence of forces. When you're aware of the multitude of factors at play, you can anticipate the potential domino effect. Let's apply this to a real-world example. Consider a major sporting event like the Super Bowl. It's not just the game itself that draws people in, it's the combination of the game, the halftime show, the commercials, the social aspect, and the tradition. Each of these factors is a force acting in the same direction, creating a much larger effect than any one factor could alone. This is a perfect illustration of the Lollapalooza effect. In business, this effect can often be seen in successful marketing campaigns. When a product is presented in the right way, at the right time, to the right audience, with the right incentives, the effect can be exponential. Each of these elements is a force, and when they all align, The result is a Lollapalooza effect. So how can we leverage this mental model? Start by recognizing that situations are rarely influenced by a single factor. Look for the converging forces, understand how they interact, and anticipate the potential outcomes. By embracing the Lollapalooza effect, you're not just reacting to events, you're predicting and potentially influencing them. Remember, the Lollapalooza effect is all about the power of convergence. It's about understanding that when multiple forces align, the impact can be far greater than the sum of its parts. So always be aware of the confluence of factors in any situation. Let's now turn our attention to Mr. Market. Now, who is this Mr. Market? Picture him as a business partner who comes to you every day with a new offer for the same piece of business. Some days he is overly enthusiastic, offering you sky-high prices, while other days he is incredibly pessimistic, suggesting prices that seem too good to be true. This, my friends, is Mr. Market. He's a metaphor created by the brilliant investor Benjamin Graham, and later popularized by Warren Buffett, to represent the irrationality and mood swings of the stock market. The concept of Mr. Market can help us understand market fluctuations and make better investment decisions. How? Well, it's simple. Mr. Market's mood swings represent the volatility of the market. On his overly optimistic days, the market is likely overvalued, but on his pessimistic days, it's undervalued. The key to leveraging Mr. Market is to remember that you are under no obligation to engage with him. You don't have to buy or sell anything based on his mood swings. Instead, use his manic-depressive behavior to your advantage. When he's overly optimistic, it might be a good time to sell, and when he's overly pessimistic, it might be a good opportunity to buy. But here's a word of caution. Don't let Mr. Market's mood dictate your investment decisions. His offers are just that, offers. They are not directives. You must independently assess the value of your investments. In essence, Mr. Market is a tool to gauge market sentiment, not a guide for investment decisions. He presents opportunities, but it is up to you to decide whether to take them or not. So the next time you see the stock market behaving erratically, remember Mr. Market, remember his mood swings, and remember that you have the power to make sound investment decisions, no matter what Mr. Market might be suggesting. Remember, don't let Mr. Market dictate your decisions. Use him as a tool, not a guide. The fourth mental model is inversion thinking. Inversion thinking, in essence, is a mental model that encourages us to approach problems from the opposite end of the natural starting point. Rather than asking, how can we achieve success, inversion thinking prompts us to consider, how can we avoid failure? It's this switch in perspective, this flipping of the problem on its head, that can lead us to innovative solutions and better decision-making. Think of it like this. Imagine you're trying to improve your health. The natural question might be, what should I do to be healthier? But if we apply inversion thinking, we might instead ask, what actions or habits are harming my health, and how can I eliminate them? This simple shift in perspective can open up a new world of possibilities and solutions. Inversion thinking is a powerful tool because it helps us to identify and avoid pitfalls and mistakes that might not be obvious when we're just focusing on our goals. It's like having a roadmap that not only shows you where to go, but also highlights the dangerous cliffs and treacherous paths you should steer clear of. Moreover, inversion thinking also encourages us to understand the consequences of our actions in advance. It's like playing chess where the grandmasters not only plan their moves, but also anticipate their opponent's reactions. It's about being proactive, not reactive. Inversion thinking is not about being negative or pessimistic. Instead, it's about being realistic, strategic, and thoughtful in our approach to problem solving. It helps us to see the full picture, to understand both the upsides and the downsides, the opportunities and the threats. So, the next time you're faced with a challenge or a decision, try to apply inversion thinking. Ask yourself not just, how can I achieve this? But also, how can I avoid failing at this? It's a small shift in perspective, but it can make a big difference in your outcomes. So, when faced with a problem, try to flip it around. You might be surprised at the solutions you find. Last but not least, we have the margin of safety. This is the fifth mental model we're exploring, courtesy of Charlie Munger. So, what is the margin of safety, you ask? Well, it's a principle that advises us to always have a buffer, a safety net if you will. It's all about minimizing risk and making better decisions. Imagine you're an acrobat performing a daring high-wire act. Now, wouldn't you want a safety net below you? Of course you would. The safety net doesn't prevent a fall, but it can mitigate the damage. That's the essence of the margin of safety. It's not about avoiding risks altogether, but rather reducing the potential damage. In the context of decision-making, the margin of safety is about leaving room for error. It's about considering what could go wrong and planning accordingly. It's about not stretching ourselves too thin, not taking on more than we can handle. For instance, in investing, the margin of safety would be buying stocks at a price well below their intrinsic value. This approach provides a cushion against unexpected negative events or miscalculations. In our daily lives, the margin of safety could be as simple as leaving early for an appointment to account for potential traffic, or setting aside savings for unforeseen expenses. By incorporating the margin of safety into our decision-making process, we can navigate the uncertainties of life with a bit more confidence. We can better prepare for the unexpected and ultimately, make better decisions. Now, this doesn't mean we should be perpetually cautious or risk-averse. Remember, life involves taking risks. But the margin of safety model is about calculated risks. It's about understanding the potential downsides and ensuring we have a plan to mitigate them. So, as we move through life, let's remember to always have a safety net. Let's always keep the margin of safety in mind. After all, it's better to be safe than sorry. And with this model, we're not just being safe, we're being smart. Remember, always have a safety net. It's better to be safe than sorry. So, there you have it, folks. Charlie Munger's blueprint for success. We've journeyed together through the unique mental landscape of one of the greatest thinkers of our time. We've explored the 5 critical mental models that Charlie Munger credits for his extraordinary success. Each of these models forms a vital component of Munger's thinking machine, and when combined, they create a powerful tool for making strategic decisions and navigating the complexities of life. We started with the circle of competence, which reminds us to stick to what we know, to understand our limitations, and to constantly expand our knowledge. This model encourages us to be humble and realistic about our abilities, and to focus on areas where we can truly excel. Next, we delved into the Lollapalooza effect, the phenomenon that occurs when multiple cognitive biases, tendencies, or mental models act in concert to produce an outcome. This model teaches us to consider the multifaceted nature of situations and to understand the complex interactions that drive results. Our third stop was Mr. Market, a model that personifies the stock market as a manic-depressive business partner. This model reminds us not to be swayed by the market's irrational behavior, but instead to use it to our advantage. It teaches us the value of patience, discipline, and independent thinking in investing and beyond. The fourth model, inversion thinking, showed us the power of approaching problems backward. By considering what we want to avoid, we can often find better solutions and make better decisions. This counterintuitive model reinforces the importance of creative and flexible thinking. Lastly, we discussed the margin of safety, a model that urges us to always leave room for error in our plans and decisions. It promotes a conservative approach, emphasizing the importance of preparing for uncertainties and potential downsides. These mental models are not just tools for financial success, they are guides for life. They help us understand the world, make better decisions, and ultimately, lead more successful and fulfilling lives. The beauty of these models lies in their versatility and applicability to a wide range of situations, from business and investing to personal growth and relationships. Now, it's your turn to put these mental models into action. Start small, apply them to your daily decisions, and gradually incorporate them into your strategic thinking. Remember, the goal is not just to understand these models, but to internalize and apply them. Which mental model do you find most useful? Comment below, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Until next time, keep making smart decisions.